Ladies and gentlemen, we have Robert Dye, candidate for City Councilman District 1. Good evening, Mr. Dye. I'll ask you a series of questions, and when you're through, just let me know, and we'll move to the next question. Mr. Dye, why are you interested in serving, and how would you balance serving the district you represent versus your service to the city overall?
I'm interested in serving because I think that every individual should make an effort to contribute to his community as he can, based on his ability, his experience, and in his willingness to give his time and effort to the furtherment and advancement of his community at some point in his life. The district that I represent is probably no different than any other part of the city. It's a little bit more of a newer part of the city. The homes are newer. There's not as much deterioration, no urban blight, no problems of that nature to speak of. Those problems mainly are in the inner urban core, and there are programs and possibilities to improve and to make those areas much better, and to get rid of the urban blight that is in existence in some areas of the city. Those city programs should be used as much as possible and to eradicate those problems.
Thank you. What do you see as the next major challenges or priorities for Lee Summit, and give us your vision for meeting them?
The primary things that I think Lee Summit should address would be to get a general effort to promote new businesses, sustainable businesses that are proven and worthy of expected success in our community, and to focus the Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Council's efforts in those directions. I don't think we should use a shotgun approach to attract all types of businesses. I think we should focus on what we actually need, what we are in short supply of. The shotgun approach, every time that a new business comes into town where there's not a need, where there's oversupply, overproduct, overservice, you're killing other industries, and other businesses are already in the community. There's a little article that was in the Tribune just this past week about a business that's leaving Lee Summit. They have tried for 2 years to succeed. The need was not there. And I'll read a little comment about the very last part of it. The next time you drive through town, slow down and look at all the empty, or the realty signs on the empty businesses. Ask yourself what happened to the last business, and see what ideas you can develop for a business you think of, or to put there. Economic recovery must and will be led by small businesses. What can you do to be a part of it? That's one of the problems. Every time you make a decision to bring a business to town, if there's an oversupply, overproduct, overservice, you're overcompeting and causing competitive problems with the existing businesses that are here. You need to focus, to understand the business community, to get out there and to study and discuss with the small business owners what they're experiencing, what they're having successes at, and what they need to advance their own personal business.
Thank you. Next question. As Lee Summit's population grows to 100 How would you ensure that appropriate infrastructure and continued public safety issues are met?
If you can continue and promote growth in Lee Summit, the tax base will provide the necessary funds to expand the infrastructure and to make it conducive to adding new homes, new subdivisions, new commercial areas, and the public safety goes right along with that, because the tax revenues will enable us to maintain adequate police force and fire protection, and that's very important to maintain the growth, to support, to increase the tax revenues, and that will take care of itself.
Thank you, Mr. Dye. Given the volatility of property taxes and other municipal income challenges, how would you propose to diversify the city's revenue base or appropriate expense reduction to ensure sustainment of current services to our citizens?
Actually, there is no volatility in the revenues for Lee Summit. I talked with the city administrator here a while back. He said that the revenues are fairly level, fairly close to what they have been. There's not a critical situation there. The property taxes, I feel that if there is an increase in taxes, it should be because of growth of commercial and industrial development, new businesses brought to town, to create a larger tax base, and to take some of the pressure off the property owners' taxes that the property owners have been sustaining most of the city needs for a long time. And if there is a tax increase and the growth isn't there, I think probably a sales tax would be the only fair way to go, rather than increase taxes on the property owners.
Thank you. The next question addresses cultural arts. What is Lee Summit's role in supporting and expanding cultural arts in our city?
Cultural arts are a very important part of it, to any city's existence and to the enjoyment of the citizens. I think there's something that needs to be, and I have discussed it before, in talking with a high-level administrator here in the city government a while back. I mentioned the fact that there should be a regional effort to consider making a regional multi-use convention center, sports center, arts center, culture center, to be built in cooperation, a regional center to be built in cooperation with the R7 school district, but perhaps in the construction of a new fourth high school, maybe in 5 or 10 years down the road, depending on need and whether the funds are there. It will be much better to have a city R7 mutually used facility and share the cost of it and the benefits of it as well. I've also talked to John Knox Village recently. Their high-level administrator in charge of the pavilion. I'm surprised this hasn't been thought of a long time ago, because it would be a perfect theater arts center for arts displays and programs, theater groups. I would rather see the John Knox Pavilion on a shared partnership arrangement, and they have expressed an interest in talking about it, and rather than going to Arnold Hall and putting millions and millions of dollars into the restoration of Arnold Hall. I can see, and also there's been a comment by a public official or two about using the Arnold Hall facility as a historical museum. That would be a perfect site for a historical museum. It would actually attract tourism, and I I know of no other feature in Lee Summit that would be a tourism attraction other than the cemetery and Cole Younger's grave. That's about the only thing I've ever heard of. Lee Summit is almost totally lacking in tourism attractions. And that would be a good place to restore it structurally and use it as a museum for historical exhibits. Okay. And let's see, I had one other thing. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, sir. What is the next step in the continued development of the Lee Summit Airport?
Lee Summit Airport, there's a very mixed reaction about Lee Summit Airport. I've had two people jump me about it. They're airplane owners. They do it on a pleasure basis. Over $30 million spent to facilitate 2 or 3% of the population here over the years. There's nothing we can do about it now except just let it be and to try to hold the losses, which have been almost continual for 30, 40 years, to continue. There's not much else we can do with it this time. Let the people have their recreational airplanes. And I've posed these two people